Previously on Hunt-A-Killer Horror, Blair Witch.
After finding Liam's things in the basement of the History Museum, Rosemary went straight to Sheriff Lanning. He didn't think any of the items would be useful in the case, nor did he think it was enough to justify putting more resources into the case to finding Liam. Liam's notes further show that his belief in the Blair Witch and her ability to get his father back.
What's your name anyway?
You can call me Carver.
Carver? Liam was talking with someone who called themselves Carver. I'm going to call Lanning's office right now, and then we're going to round up anyone who will follow me into the forest. I'm going to go back in there, and I'm going to find Carver. And when I do, I'm going to make him feel the same misery and pain that he's put my family through.
And now, the search for Liam continues. My stomach was in knots when I saw the new package on my desk. I knew who it was from before I even read the label. Rosemary. Her letter in this one shows that she has a newfound determination, but I can tell she's still a little shaken. In her letter, she thanks us. Because of our help identifying Carver, Sheriff Lanning resumed the search for Liam. A search party was conducted, using the History Museum as a rendezvous point. She sent us the search party notes from the 3 officers that led the 3 different groups, and the items that they had found. The items they found were a folder from Liam's school, a discipline report about Liam, a picture sketched by Liam, a letter written by Liam, and a carving. There was also a book called Of Witches and Other Warnings that was found with Liam's things. It should be noted that according to Anthony, the book was from the History Museum and had only went missing the week before the search party, where Liam has been missing for several months. At this discovery, Anthony provided an incident report he wrote about the book. Lastly, there was a letter to Rosemary from Carver himself. With the new password to contact Rosemary, she needs us to figure out what Carver's next move is. I think the search party notes is the best place to start. The reports have strange occurrences of time and location anomalies. The first report is written by the ever-skeptical Deputy Weathers. Leading a group of 11 volunteers, they started their search at 0900 hours at the History Museum and headed north, marking their path as they went. After a short time, 5 members were too skittish to travel this deep into the woods and retreated back to the History Museum. At 1200 hours, the remaining members of the group came upon a hollow and decided to break there for lunch. During lunch, the unnerving silence was abruptly interrupted by a blood-curdling scream. Because of the density of the woods, it was impossible for Deputy Weathers to determine which direction the scream came from. Not wanting to scare the already spooked remaining members of his group, Deputy Weathers told them all to stay in the hollow while he continued north in search of the source of the scream. He attempted to call the other officers, but his radio was malfunctioning and only emitted a constant static sound. After 30 minutes, Deputy Weathers deemed his search futile and headed back to the group in the hollow. He thought he was following his markers, but he somehow got lost. It took him 3 hours to find his way back to the group. It took him long enough that by the time he did return, the group was fighting about what to do. Stay there, look for Weathers, or head back to the History Museum. With Deputy Weathers reunited with his group, they all headed south, back to the History Museum. On their way, the group sees strange markings on the trees. Weathers is unable to take pictures because he was unable to find his camera. He must have dropped it in the hollow somewhere. Although no one else saw it, one of the members of the group said that someone was watching them from the trees. The group finally reached the History Museum at 1722. The second group was led by Officer Michelle Howard. She too led a group of 11 volunteers, but unlike Deputy Weathers, Officer Howard was as uneasy as the rest of the group. She did not want to travel this deep into the woods. Her group headed east from the History Museum at 0900 hours. A little after an hour, at 10:05, the group came upon a creek. Unfortunately, at that time, one of the members lost her footing and slipped into the creek, letting out a horrific scream. She broke her forearm to the point that the bone was exposed. She was also bleeding from her forehead. Officer Howard tried calling for help, but her radio was malfunctioning. At this point, everyone tried their cell phones, but absolutely no one had signal. Officer Howard, not wanting to leave anyone behind, made the call to turn back. She and one other group member carried the member back to the History Museum. Even though they hadn't been out for very long, Officer Howard felt it was very strange that it looked as though the sun was setting. She was surprised when she reached the History Museum just after noon. She found the clock in her patrol car read 1724. How did she lose 5 hours? The third and final group was led by Officer Gail Cooper. This group had 10 volunteers, including Rosemary herself. The group headed west from the History Museum. 45 minutes into the search, a few of the members heard strange animal sounds and followed it. They followed the sounds to find a mutilated, dead bird. The wings were removed and then jammed into the eye sockets. Even though she was shook by this, Officer Cooper put on a brave face and encouraged the rest of the group to soldier on. In hopes to boost morale, Officer Cooper decided for the group to break for lunch a little early, around 1100, in a small hollow they had come across. After lunch, they continued to follow their compass west until the group came across a creek. This was very perplexing because the only known creek in the woods was in the eastern area, the complete opposite direction from which they left the History Museum. A little after 11:52, along the bank of the creek, they found Liam's things. Officer Cooper got a picture of the scene and marked the spot. Officer Cooper tried to contact another group, but her radio was malfunctioning. That was the deciding factor for her. Against Rosemary's wishes, Officer Cooper made the call for the group to go back to the History Museum. On the way back, they found the 5 members that abandoned Deputy Weathers' group. They were following their markers south, but somehow got lost. They all found their way back to the History Museum at what should have been at least 1300 hours. But when Officer Cooper looked at the clock in her patrol car, it read 09:55. Sure, they cut the search short, but how had it only been 55 minutes? Adding to the oddities, the incident report that Anthony provided gives us an interesting insight about the book that the search party found. During one of Anthony's shifts at the History Museum, the book of Witches and Other Warnings would not stay in its place on the shelf. Every time Anthony put the book into its place, moments later it would end up somewhere else. On the floor in front of the bookshelf, a nearby table. At one point, he placed the book on the shelf, walked back to his desk, only to find it was on his desk, open to a page about the towering man. As he was writing the incident report to document these mysterious happenings, the book goes missing entirely. The fact that the book was found with Liam's things makes this incident all the worse. I think next we should look at the letter to Rosemary from Carver. There are two parts to this letter. The first part is plain to read.
Rosemary, I know you've been dying to find me. I can feel you begging in your sleep. I watch you cry like a pathetic child when you think there's nobody around. Keep trying to find me. It's delicious to watch you scramble around the woods. You don't know it yet, but you're going to die oh so terribly, terribly alone. I will take what she asks for, and you cannot stop me. We are not finished yet, Carver.
As cruel as the first part is, the second part is just as cryptic. Not only is it in code, but after translating it, it's just a series of numbers set like coordinates. 41, 42, 75, 14.5, 22.5, 7.3, 23.4, 14.3, 8.6, 8.5, 8.1, and 5.7. I flipped through everything that was found in the woods. Then it hit me. In the section of the book that's entitled The Towering Man, there's a poem with the same title. That poem goes like this. Beware, beware the towering man, for lure and catch and kill he can. He lurks so deep within the wood, you'll have no worries if you're good. But if you venture far from home, if deep into the woods you roam, you'll see what seems a moving tree, coming towards you, that is he. On children naughty, glum, and mean, in their demeanor he is keen. He draws them in with clever tricks, and snaps their necks like brittle sticks. Best keep your eye upon the path, unless you want to taste his wrath. For stuffing children in a sack, the man was stretched upon a rack. His final words he yelled so loud,
I hope my deeds have made her proud.
His mistress is that old Blair Witch, who turned his heart as black as pitch, tore off his skin, wrapped him in bark, and gave him power of the dark. The towering man you cannot fight. Your only hope? Stay in the light. Like most poems, the lines of the stanzas are numbered. Using the numbers in the message like coordinates, the first number being the line of the stanza and the second number being the word, the message reads, "You'll have a taste of what you want. He's coming home." Even though this is a huge clue, we still don't have the whole picture. Let's go through Liam's letter to find the missing piece.
Oh, I don't know if anyone's gonna find this. If they do, I guess it might be on my body. But bodies go uncovered in the woods all the time. My name is Liam. Please tell my mom and brother I am sorry. I thought I was going to bring us back together, but I was wrong. He said he'd bring me to my dad, but all we've done for what feels like days is walk deeper into the forest. There aren't any birds or deer. There's only Carver. I can't remember the last time I ate, but I don't feel hungry. Empty, but not hungry. We've been walking in circles. I miss my mom. I miss my brother. I miss Tank. I don't like the way he looks at me. Like he knows everything about me. Sometimes he laughs at nothing. Twice he's told me to keep it down, like he was listening to something I didn't say out loud. When I ask him about my dad, he laughs. Mostly he insists we're making progress, but that's insane. He's insane. We reached the clearing with the hollow stump in the middle, surrounded by carvings. He made a fire. I stay near it to stay warm, but I never look into the fire. I see terrible things when I look into it. We haven't moved from the spot in a long time. I don't know what we're waiting for. He doesn't answer my questions. Sometimes he leaves for hours at a time. I never know when he's back until I hear him breathing. Sticks don't break where he walks. He disappeared again. I'm going to make a run for it. I can sometimes see the North Star in the sky. If I head away from it, I should be able to get back to town. It's so dark and so cold. I'm so tired. I don't know how long I have been out here, but I can't sleep. I'm too scared. It's always so silent. Until I try to sleep. Then all the noises come. Screeching and laughing and crying and growling. Just have to keep moving. I could swear I have been going south for days without veering off course once. But I ended up back in the hollow just the same. He was waiting for me there. He looked up from the fire and laughed at me. Tried to run again. He said stop, and I stopped. I didn't want to, but my body just listened. He finally told me what he wants. I guess he told me before I followed him in here, but I just didn't listen. I want to throw up, but there's nothing in my stomach. I gotta be careful what I leave lying around. I'm using everything Dad taught me. I wish that I had my light with me, but I'm glad I had plenty of pens in my pocket when I left, including my special one.
Taking the hint from Liam, it's time to pull out Old Faithful and see what's hidden on the page. Oh, looks like Liam had more to say.
I want to go home. 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 I can't risk being found out. I'm going to pretend like I'm doodling and hope that you find my folder. I'll make one last break for it, and I'll throw it as far into the woods as I can. If anyone finds this, Carver wants me to do something horrible. And I don't know if I can resist. Please, stop us. 6 will show you what he wants, if you know how to line them up.
I assume that this is one of the pieces of the 6 that he spoke of. I scoured everything else that I could find for the missing 5 pieces and put all 6 of them together and searched out for words that I can make from all of the letters. Any clue for what Carver wants. And then I found it. Dear God, did I find it. We've got to talk to Rosemary now.
I'm so sorry, Rosemary, but Carver is after Tristan.
No, not Tristan. Not my little skunk. I'm on my way home right now. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Of all the times to be stopped at a goddamn red light. Come on, come on, come on. Turn green, damn it. Turn green. Turn green. That psycho. He's not going to get what he wants. Not again. Not ever again. Oh no. I called Lanning's office. He should be on his way. I'm going to rip Carver's head off. I'm going to scatter his body all through the woods. Tristan? Tristan? Honey, please answer me right now. Tristan? Tristan! Where are you? Tristan! Tristan! Oh no! He's gone! Oh no! I won't let this happen! Not again! And you're not going to either! We are going to fix this. That's Lanning. I'm going to have to talk to him. I'll be in touch.
Looks like Carver's got both of the boys now. Will Rosemary be able to get them back? To find out, you'll have to watch the next episode. Thank you for watching this episode. And now for the segment I'm calling Behind the Box. So, I absolutely love the Hunt a Killer series. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I hope you guys are having fun watching it. And I highly recommend that you get the boxes yourself. I put as much of the material into these videos as I can, but they do like to put in a lot of what I'm called red herrings. So to kind of like get you off the scent of the case. Although it's still really interesting. There's so much just flavor text to it. But it doesn't all pertain to what you're trying to find out for that episode. Doesn't mean that it's not going to be useful later down in the line. For instance, the last episode, the code that HUD put in his letter before Liam was born, that code, like the cipher for that, was actually from the previous box because it was in Liam's notebook. It's just little things like that that you just kind of pull from old boxes. So it's all relevant, and I 100% think that this box is worth it. So go out, get your own box. I don't have an affiliate code, so I can't
but there are tons of people who have affiliate codes. So, and I think they do specials, like if it's your first subscription. So definitely do it. If you are going through this arc, comment down below. Let me know some of your theories. I have a ton of theories now. Like, I've already started episode 4, and I've got some ideas, like why poor Rosemary is being tortured by Carver and the Blair Witch. And like, I kind of have an idea who I think Carver actually is, or maybe they're trying to make it feel like he's this person. I will have to say, I did have a little trouble with this box. I was trying to overcomplicate the puzzle for finding out the 6 together, because when you get it, it makes, like, you can arrange it so it makes a perfect square. And, you know, I like playing Tetris. So I was like, okay, I made a grid. Now can I just make a word search out of this? And then I was trying to use all of the letters that's in it, which that's no. And then I was like, okay, is it a sentence? So I was trying to make a sentence, and I found Tristan, but I was still trying to, like, I found witch, I found a whole bunch of different things in there, but I was like, this isn't adding up. So I did have to get a hint with that one to realize that it's just one word, it's just a name, and it was Tristan. And you kind of get an idea that it's Tristan that he's after in the letter from Liam, because he talks about, you know, he's making me do something that I really don't want to do. And then the fact that Carver says that he is coming home, meaning Liam is coming home, meaning Liam kidnapped poor Tristan. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. I know I had a bucket ton of fun. I love these boxes. Give Hunt a Killer some love. Their work is absolutely amazing. Like I said, I've already started episode 4, so let me know if you guys are enjoying this journey with me, if it's as exciting for you as it is for me. I love putting these videos together because, I don't know, I think it's super fun. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. If you want to see my dog, I don't know. Okay, bye.